How can you practice speaking if you don't have another person to talk with? There may be many situations when there isn't an English teacher available or another English speaker, and you really want to practice your speaking to get better so that when you do meet English speakers, you can enjoy yourself and not be too stressed. So practice is a hard thing. Well, with technology changing all the time, there are opportunities and old-fashioned ways that work. I've got six suggestions. Number one is using subtitles on, videos like YouTube videos or TikTok or whatever. Well, TikTok, I'm not sure, but when you're watching a video on Netflix or something, watch with the English subtitles. By all means, watch with the Japanese subtitles or whatever, but once you understand what the people are saying, it's maybe more helpful to have the English there so that you can hear the English and see it written down. So you get a connection. Ah, that's what they're saying. That's okay. That's a start. But then the fun part is you go back, rewind, go back and mute the video, and then press play, and then try to say the words that one of the characters is speaking. Right? So there's nobody talking, but you know what they said. So then try and speak it at the same speed. So it's a good way of practicing fluency, and yeah, maybe fun, and it's free. Free is good. Okay, so that's one, using subtitles to encourage you to speak. Number two, another one with technology, practice using voice recognition technology like Siri, Alexa. There are other, I guess there are many now. And in fact, that's maybe how AI is going to be used. At the moment, as I record this, AI is still mostly chat, but I think there will come a time when you can talk to the computer and it will kind of understand, or it's a big question, is it really understanding? But it will talk back to you. Personally, I find that horrible. The idea of spending your time talking to a computer. But then again, that's what I'm doing right now. I'm just talking to a computer, but I know that there's somebody is going to watch this, or I hope somebody's going to watch this. Oh, it's a philosophical problem for another time. Practicing your English, it might work very well because if Alexa or Siri or whatever can understand what you're saying, then my pronunciation's pretty good. It might be fun. And again, it's kind of free once you've got the system. It's free way of practicing. Number three, this doesn't require any technology. This is talking to yourself and even narrating your life. Like, for example, I could say, I am sitting in a chair. Now I'm going to speak. Hello, he said. Right, a bit crazy, right? But if you're saying aloud all the things that you're doing or thinking about, you're narrating your life. It's not so crazy, actually. Well, it's a bit crazy, but not so crazy because there's a famous English author, George Orwell. He wrote 1984 and Animal Farm. It doesn't matter. But I remember reading one of his books, and he said that he knew he wanted to become a novelist because he would be narrating his life, and imagining how to write things down. There'd be a little voice in his head. So I'm reaching for my cup. Or the English teacher smelled the cup. Is it coffee? He thought. Right? You're giving a story. You're trying to tell your story. Well, do that to practice speaking English. Don't need any technology. And as always, it's completely free. Okay. Hey, you know what? All of these are free. Fantastic. Okay. Number four, try shadowing. Listen to an English sentence on a podcast or video or TV or radio or whatever. Listen to it and then stop and try to say what they said. So if I say, roses are red, violets are blue, stop it and say, roses are red, violets are blue. That's called shadowing, repeating what somebody said right after they've said it. And I think it's to encourage fluency and speed. And again, doesn't really require any money. Another simple thing is number 5, read books aloud. When you've got a book, don't just read it in your head, read it aloud. I mean, I would recommend reading in your head to read quickly, but to practice the English and to practice intonation and speaking, say the words aloud. You might look funny in a coffee shop, but so what? Yeah, it's just it's one thing reading it, it's quite another speaking it. I'm sure you know. Okay, and then finally, number 6, speak your notes aloud. If you make some notes during an English lesson or write down some vocabulary, speak them aloud once you've written them down. I'm sure you do. If you don't, you really should. It helps aids your memory as well as your pronunciation and all of that good stuff. Okay, thank you very much. I should ask you some questions, shouldn't I? Yes. I've got 3 questions. Number 1, which of these 6 methods have you tried? Are there any that you haven't tried? Interesting. Number 2, what aspects of speaking are hardest for you? What parts of speaking? Is it the pronunciation? Is it speaking quickly? Is it being understood? Is it feeling nervous in front of people? What's the hardest part? And number 3, well, what's your opinion? What do you think is the best way to improve your English speaking ability? What do you think? Okay, I think these questions are over, and I'll see you again for another lesson. Thank you very much.